All right, election season in Arizona, it's just like our summers, it never ends. And so here we are to talk about the governor's race that is over a year out with Chuck Coughlin, Stacey Pearson. Thanks. It's always great to see both of you.
It's good to
You
see
miss
you.
us.
I do.
know.
I
So,
actually
you
do.
gotta drag
I
us
actually
back
do.
here.
I do. And then 5 minutes
Talk about this,
is
talk
all
about
I
the
need.
circus.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the governor's race. I want to start with the Republican primary. I lost a bet when I was asked, is David Schweikert going to jump into the race? I said, no way Schweikert's jumping in the race.
I would have lost that with you.
I would have
Okay.
lost it too.
So let's talk about now that he's in, how much does it change it?
I don't think much. I really don't think it changes it much. I just think most of Mr. Schweikert's frustration relies in Washington, and he just was not feeling fulfilled at all in that role anymore. And so he was done. And I was looking for any out card. I think he was looking for the Trump administration maybe to do him some solid. They weren't going to do it because they want him to run. And he's like, no, I'm not going to run. So I'm now in the governor's race. His lane, Bob Robb wrote a column about this today. His lane thinks it's some Reaganite type old school Republican. Not enough of those left. You got MAGA. You got some of those folks. And Karen's after some of the Karen Taylor Robson's. There's just not a lane there for him.
If he's a smart guy, he's been around for a long time, he's got good, smart people around him, someone's got to be advising him, and he's got to believe that he can win or he wouldn't have gotten in. Isn't that right? I mean, so what's...
No.
You don't think that's true?
No.
Candidates do what candidates want to do, much to our chagrin as we're advising them often.
See how ignorant I am of your world. I thought if you're paying good money for good people...
They're not.
Oh, no.
They're not. He's got one
No.
consultant who's Chris Baker, smart
Yeah,
guy.
very. Yeah.
But, Chris is going to tell him what he wants to hear.
Okay.
And David wants to run. I mean, David's done. And so, go ahead, go do it.
So I want to stay on the governor's race for the most of this, but then what does this do to CD1? Because they're spending millions and they haven't been able to beat Schweikert, but that doesn't mean that another Republican's going to be plug and play and going to win that. I live in that district. It is as purple a district as it gets, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can announce right here.
No, not a chance.
Oh, this was announced.
Yeah,
this is so exciting. Thank you for bringing us in on this. What's important to note is that Schweikert won by about 16,000 votes in a district that had almost 60,000 more Republicans than Democrats. So he underperformed last November in a red wave year. That does not translate particularly well for the rest of the state, where he has low name ID. If you go to Yuma, nobody's worked with him, nobody's heard about him. So he really did underperform.
How much of that is because of the millions that were spent against him? How much of that is the ad campaigns where the messaging, if there are people that are voters don't know him very well and they're hearing some of it, is that part of it?
It's a great question, but he also underperformed 2 years prior.
Okay.
So with a guy that the Democrats didn't invest in. We had Jevin Hodge. No one paid any attention. They thought that Schweikert was a shoo-in to win re-elect, and he underperformed. He barely beat Jevin Hodge, and I think most Democrats would have a hard time picking that guy out of a lineup today.
He's been around a long time, right? I mean, he's been around since the 2010 cycle. That's many cycles. His shoes get a little worn down up there.
Okay.
So this is an opportunity for somebody new to step in. And maybe, as she says, he's underperformed. Maybe somebody else can overperform or at least perform with the numbers in the cycle.
So what does this do for Governor Hobbs? Not necessarily these three candidates, but she's going to have to run a campaign differently. She refused to debate Kari Lake. She said, I'm not buying into the crazy. But she's not going to be able to do that now. Do you think she's looking forward to a debate with any of these candidates? Does it change her approach?
Well, I think it depends on who comes out of the primary. I mean, I think Schweikert is probably the least tinfoil hat wearing of the three candidates, right?
I'm sitting right here.
You want your hat?
I want my hat.
It's right now. I can go grab it.
But I do think an Andy Biggs debate, when Andy Biggs has defended insurrectionists, he's voted against 9/11 funding, I think the governor would perform extraordinarily well there.
Okay.
I mean, she is not a screamer, yeller, bang your fists on the table person, but that's okay. Voters are still
What if it's
supporting
Robeson?
her. That's a good question. I mean, Robeson, in her flip-flops of where she used to be and her criticisms of Trump to where she is today, I think Robeson's going to have to account for the shift.
It's going to be a hard race for the governor in any environment.
For both sides.
Yeah, with whatever she runs, because here's the deal. The last general election cycle, the presidential election cycle, was supposed to be like a 3% Republican turnout advantage, meaning more than 3% more Republicans turned out than Democrats. Turned in at 9, hence why Schweikert won with 17,000 votes last time. And so plus 9 in a presidential cycle that's supposed to be younger because off cycles get older and more Republican, you're looking at a double-digit Republican participation advantage. Paul will allow me to say at least 11, but it could be 14 or 15. That's a big hill for her to overcome. And whoever that opponent is has a lot going for him. But, you know, I would agree with her that Biggs has probably the most room to be able to pivot to a more centrist position to give him an electable path.
I'm out of time for this segment. Promise me you'll come back to do it again.
Oh, come on. You know, I'm absolutely in.
We'll be back.